Day in the shop. What's up? Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. I'm Cold Jimmy, and we're about to make it cold work. It's 37 degrees this morning. You know, my loyalty's where it should be. When the old chrome dome is cold, I don't care what beanie I grab. It's freaking cold. This is silly. Whose idea was this? We're here getting the shop open up. It's probably cold where you're at too. I'm guessing it's not only cold here. He's doing some work, huh? I normally don't take the whole HVAC box off. I normally split the case right here. But I don't think he's ever done one, so he doesn't know that. That's all right. He's doing the best he can. He'll make it work too. It's silly how cold it is. Honestly, I'm not kidding. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm not even gonna sand this body filler today because it's too cold. But what we are gonna do is learn some things, have some fun, get one or two people back on the road. It seems to be that's about how many a day lately. But we'll do what we can. We're trying to set a record for how long the garbage can go without being emptied. That's about a week and a half so far. So we're doing pretty good with that. Same thing with this area. We're trying to see how long we can go without straightening any of it out. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope it's not too cold, or you have a good source of heat, or a nice thick jacket like I got. I wear a sleeveless vest because I got to stick my arms in places while I'm working. And I have like 4 of these sweatshirts, which happen to be so that when they get dirty, I can change them out pretty quick and not have to wash them all that night. Now I told you about my laundry. I told you about the weather. We didn't fix any cars yet. What the heck am I doing? Let's finish getting the shop open up. Get in there and get started. What do you say? A little less of this, a little more of this. Stay tuned. Look at this airbox contraption. You gotta take the valve cover off. We're gonna see if there's damage to the camshaft or anything. What I'll probably do, the valve cover gasket's leaking. So the plan was to do a valve cover gasket anyway and then change the vacuum pump if there's no damage to the cam. 10 millimeter, that's off. Now you can see the engine. I like to put the oil cap back on. Man, this thing's been through some stuff. So 240,000 miles if you saw yesterday's video. It's seen some use and not tons of love, although the engine runs nice and quiet. I'm going to clean this off before I even take it apart so no less dirt might go in the engine at least. And then we'll get to pulling this thing off of here. That means stop. Less dirt in there, it'll disconnect a little easier, in theory. For some reason they put the release underneath. Some of these are designed so you can't take that off, and I thought that was what that was, but it's not. There's a coolant hose going to the valve cover. That's quite interesting. There must be a steam hole in the head that passes through the valve cover into this metal tube. What are these guys doing here? This doesn't seem like it comes out any further. I got this one off. Not easily. Can't squeeze that, can you? I don't remember the last time I had to drain the coolant to do a valve cover gasket. Look, it's self-draining. I got a drip pan under there. I just didn't think it would go that long. Coolant flush with a valve cover gasket. And they must want you to take that out, I guess. I don't know. It's in the way. straighten out soon enough. Uh-oh. That's not gonna hurt nothing. Just let it drip. Coolant air bleed pipe. One more 10. It says to take the wiper cowl off to get to the vacuum pump easier, but I don't see how that's gonna help because it doesn't go all the way back to the firewall. It just gets you a little more room. We're gonna try reaching back there with a little ratchet and socket or something. There's 3 bolts on that vacuum pump that face this way. Should be easy, especially with my little T-Rex arms. That ought to help us out. Get what we can out of our way, get it to stop dripping. I also don't want coolant to go down the crankcase, right? It says take the wiper cowl off to get back there. Did I mention that yet? Sounds kind of silly to me. But we'll see. We just might have to. Shortcuts haven't been working out in my favor lately. So now do I get gun shy and just follow the rules? Or do I continue being a rebel and a rule breaker? A Jimmy shaker? I haven't decided yet, but I'll keep you posted. Probably leave them in. I think they only go to oil passages. I don't know. Obviously I haven't done one of these yet, so I don't have a lot of experience with that. If I did, it was so long ago, I don't remember, because I have a little bit of Alzheimer's senility. What's the word for it? What do I forget. Metal in them, that's good. That is good. I should be able to lift this up. Let's not break anything. Be patient. It's hard though. Another once over on all our bolts. There's one back here. You can see the picture on Identifix of the bolts. It shows like 30 bolts sticking out above the valve cover in red. Fast and Furious, bro. It's going to be in Fast and Furious 17. Someone told me. I got insiders in the industry. You know me, I'm hip with the kids. My goodness gracious, when's it going to let go? I think the spark plug tubes are holding on to it like they always tend to. Goodness gracious, come on, man. What is this back here? The wiring harness has a push pin holding it on the valve cover back there. It's not stopping it, but good thing to notice. Spark plug tube is poop. All the spark plug tube seals are turning into dust. Something has to be hooked on here. Has to be. They've got this trapped under the vacuum pump. I think you got to take the vacuum pump off, take the valve cover off. Alright, let's see if we can get that off of there.
Walked all the way up over here, completely forgot what I came over here for. Had to walk back to the car, remember.
That's the worst. And you don't even have an excuse like I do. I hope they don't want you to do this. Take the wiper cowl off because it doesn't fit out otherwise. Didn't think of that till just now. I got it loose with a deep 10, and now I need a shallow 10 for the last couple threads, it feels like. This is the hardest bolt to get to. It's in the center of the cylinder head, basically, almost.
Yesterday was fine.
You little rascal. Broken. That means it's seized. Isn't that cool? I'm gonna clean this up. I gotta get the debris out of the back where the vacuum pump snapooied. This is why when these vacuum pumps break too, you also gotta take it apart. Those chunks of metal, hopefully are all from the vacuum pump. I'm gonna get a mirror and look at the back of the cam, see how that looks, and fish those little goodies out of there. Hopefully.
One Ferrari valve cover gasket is here, sir.
Thank you. Uh-oh. It has damaged the cam, but I mean, it would still turn the pump, but it's not right. So cam's got to be replaced to do it right. So let me let them know. I don't think they've ordered parts yet. We're waiting to hear. So you can lock these, lock the cam in place and all that kind of stuff, and change that exhaust cam without doing the whole timing chain job, I believe. It's been a while since I messed with one. Joe just did one a couple weeks ago. So let me let them know, and we'll see where we go with it. My gold mining expedition has proven to be quite fruitful, but that's all the pieces I can get after about 15 minutes of fishing. Now I'm going to go up front, let them know what we found. I said, Jimmy, the valve cover gasket's here for the Ferrari. Oh, but look at this one first. Okay. Customer said they saw smoke from the dash this morning. Rosaries. Coolant's full. You look at the oil level through the screen, there's no dipstick. You got to bring it up and see. Oil level's okay. It does have a slight leak from the valve cover, but it leaks down to the right side. That is where the exhaust is. Maybe she saw some smoke from that. It says something about under hood and out of dash vents. So I'm not sure what she saw. Could have been steam or doo-doo on the exhaust. I don't know. I mean dew, moisture. I got a Chevy Cruze I pulled in too. I didn't film, but it's got a fuel trim code. And those Chevy Cruzes, I'll show you. A picture's worth 1,000 words. The air filters fall off, and they cause fuel trim codes because the engine calculates throttle position, how much air it thinks should be going into the engine, and with the air filter off, too much air goes in the engine, so it runs too rich. It's kind of opposite of what you would think, but I've seen it before. So of course I pulled the air filter box off. I pull the air filter box off, and this is basically laying in there, not even on the little tube, and the mass air is right there. So I cleaned the mass air already, and you can see this is tweaked out a little bit. But it's supposed to go in here like this, get pushed onto there, and then snap into this holder. Snap being the operative word. So they're getting me one to try. Oh, here it is. Just as I suspected. They don't tell you, you got to figure it out for yourself. That's what it's supposed to look like. So let's see if it's snap hooey's on there now. Easy, right? The clip isn't really holding it in there very well. I don't remember if they snapped in or if there's something missing. It doesn't look like anything's broken from it. It's kind of strange. I just kind of held it with my finger and made sure when I dropped the lid on that everything stayed in place. It's another one of those designs, you know, GM's like, hey, everyone's doing really stupid air filter boxes. Let's do one of our own. Clear the codes, reset the fuel trim, see what it does. What this car was doing was running a -30 and it set a P0172 fuel trim rich. The kid didn't lean it out enough, had to get to -30. And if you pull the oil cap or the dipstick off with the engine running, all of a sudden the fuel trim goes the other direction, because now you're introducing air, so it leans it out, right? We're going to see if this fixes it. That's basically what I'm saying. This is a really cool design GM came up with here. I got to tighten this clamp too, but I'll wait till this is on first. Guys, I got some poor kid at the quick lube places taking this air filter box on and off every time looking at air filters. What could go wrong? This car doesn't have a chance once it's 15, 20 years old. But like I said in that video, it seems like that's the plan. You can't afford a new car, you'll take the bus. I guess that's what they want on purpose. It's hard to tell. Are they just that dumb? They're either really dumb or it's on purpose. So this bottom number is a short term. It's really rich. So it's going to start correcting it. And what it'll do is bring this back to normal on the long term so that the short term corrects. You've seen some of my other drivability videos. The short term's what's happening now. It says, oh, it's lean, or oh, it's rich. And then the long term changes to try to bring the short term into correction. So little by little, you should start seeing that number drop. When it gets warmed up enough, it'll be happy and start doing the fuel trim. And I intentionally didn't reset it. You can go in and reset the fuel trim, see where it's at, but I wanted to watch it correct for you guys, because I love you guys, man. I want to show you what's going on firsthand. Let's go like this. I don't need this anymore. Now the purple line is the short term, it's happening right now. And the orange line is long term. It's actually richening it up now where it was leaning it out before. Cleaning the mass air and putting the air filter on. I mean, you wouldn't think, but you can see the clip how it's damaged. So it didn't have an air filter on the engine basically, so it causes a rich code. I can't explain it. I only know it happens a lot. Especially if you go to quick lube places, they brag about doing your oil change in 10 minutes, and in that time they're checking your air filter, which that's a 10-minute job by itself, really. If you're going to take it on and put it off right, or take it off and put it on right, it takes a little time. But someone gets 10 bucks, 12 bucks an hour, whatever they pay. What do they pay nowadays? 30 bucks an hour? I don't know. And they have to do all that every time, and they get yelled at if they're not selling a certain amount of air filters every week. And we can't keep doing these oil changes for next to nothing, and you guys aren't selling filters. So this is a bear to get back on too, but it goes. Trust me. That's what it's supposed to look like. -1, +2, 0, -1. About 3% in the long term. It might get even better than that on the long term after we drive it a little bit, but mass airflow cleaning and an air filter, easy. The oil was just changed about 800 miles ago, so it might have happened when that was done. So this one's done. I just wanted to show it to you real quick in case one of you guys is messing with one of these, or if you own one of these cars and your check engine light comes on after you get your oil changed. If they looked at your air filter, that's probably why. The air filter is like 20 bucks, and the plastic gets damaged where it's supposed to sit. That's the best they can do. They're trying, kind of. 2019 with 89,000 miles. I do have to clear the check engine light out, otherwise it'll take a couple of trips with no fuel trim codes to put it out itself. And this one's done. I got the BMW running. We're gonna go see if it smokes after I clear these codes. I think GM's, even a 2018, probably will let you clear them with it running. Done. All right, let's go see how BMW is doing. I can smell the Earl. See it smoking a little bit. Nothing terrible, but we recommended a valve cover gasket 9,000 miles ago, so I don't know. Engine compartment hot. Components are hot. Let engine cool down before opening hood. What? It's not hot. Oil, gas. That's very interesting. Let's see if we can find temperature data. Let's see. Engine compartment hot. Open carefully. Hood open. That's strange. I guess BMW drivers are kind of bougie. They could get burned. They don't know that the engine will be hot when you have driven it. I don't know. Oh my goodness gracious. It's a good thing I amuse myself. I hope I amuse you guys a little bit. I'm just having fun. Stuff starts to get silly, and so I start to get silly. Can't help myself. I amplify the silly, I amplify the happiness, and I amplify the sadness, I guess. Should have named it Jimmy Making It Like a Roller Coaster. Vehicle status. I can't bring up coolant. Maybe it's on this one of these things. Huh. I gotta find it. I don't know what I'm doing. BMW. So I'm guessing she saw something with that, because it was 35 degrees if you got up early enough this morning. By the time I left the house, it was 37. But it's cold, so a lot of times you'll see like white steam coming out of the dash vents, and this valve cover gasket leaking is all I can see. So we'll see if we do anything with this car. I feel like I'm done with it at this point. These wipers, a couple front tires, a little sketchy. Back tires are brand new. We'll see. This gasket, ridiculous. That's how the whole thing's coming out, piece by piece. Oh, that's a bummer. Apparently 244,000 miles is about the cutoff for gasket material. Listen, we could do this the nice way, and we could do it the hard way. But it's going to happen. It's actually not as bad as the outer diameter gasket was. My goodness gracious. That's something I haven't seen before, but I'm glad I spotted it. That hole's not supposed to be there. One of the pieces, got shot out of the valve cover. Put a hole in it. So we need a valve cover too. So That's a bummer. That is a bummer. I'm glad I spotted it though, because it would have been terrible if I put it all back together and it was leaking. So we said, yeah, it's no problem. We can do this. Joe's got the kit. He just did a GM 4-cylinder not long ago. But what he did was a 1.5 or a 1.4 liter. It doesn't reach the chain, and this is closed down. Even if it was far enough in, it doesn't hold the chain. So this kit we have doesn't work. So why would GM have a similar setup on all the 4 cylinders? They don't. Even the same generation. I think Joe did a 2016 1.4 or 1.5 liter. This is a 2016 2.5 liter. And none of the timing tools work. Nice job, GM. Well, my camshaft's here. But needless to say, it's literally a stamped steel tube. I don't know how thick. Maybe, if I was going to guess what an engineer might do, they might have a 3mm, maybe 4mm thick tube. So I got a wrench on the old one. I can probably impact the bolt out, but they want you to hold the phaser from these teeth in here with a special tool that we can't get, I mentioned earlier. So if something tweaks on the old cam, it's not the end of the world, right? But I got to put the new one in, and I have to torque it down 22 degrees, 22 foot-pounds plus 100 degrees, a little past 90 after 22 foot-pounds, which, you know, if I was going to be a guessing man, I'd say it's like 100 foot-pounds, 110 foot-pounds. It's a lot. And to ask a pressed sheet metal nut on the camshaft to hold that is asking a lot. The other problem is the tool that holds the chain here so that the tensioner doesn't expand, we don't have. So I've got a spring clamp tool on there to help, and I was going to put my wedge I made for Chevy Colorado back in the day. I'm going to tug on this shoestring a little bit, make sure it's not dry rotted because it's been in there a while. But if you put it down there in between the chain and the timing cover, it should help keep the tensioner from wanting to pop out if this comes loose. These are the solutions we used to come up with back in the day when I was making it work. Wait, I'm still doing that, ain't I? So you don't wedge this in there crazy tight. Get it snug so it doesn't allow the tensioner to go boop. Because if you hear the tensioner go click, 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 then you got to take the timing cover off to reset it. There's probably a way to get in there with a pick or something, but I can't really see it from here. So I don't want to try to find out. If this will fit down there, I'm not sure if it even fits. Yeah, it's a little too wide. I might have to narrow it, modify it for this engine. You gotta love GM. Every manufacturer does it. Every engine, different set of tools, different set of rules, different timing marks. If this goes past the pulley, it fits perfectly. I just got to take a little bit of wood off of here on the grinder, maybe on the short side. That's what we're going to try. I can probably put vice grips on here if I wrap a rag around it or something, but it felt a little too violent to me. You guys tell me what you think. This tool is on there pretty good. Just kind of keeping the chain from relaxing. Basically on the springs from the valve train, it's going to want to turn the cam, and that will make this tensioner pop out. So let's modify this a little and come back. Took a little wood off of there. I don't know, I haven't tried it yet. Let's see. Oh man, we're close. Oh, you know what? Now it's thickness. Now it's this way. So, it looks like literally by a millimeter or two, I can take some material off this backside. If I had the right tool, I'd probably be torquing the cam caps by now. For about an hour, I've been trying to figure this out, looking up parts. All the parts say, we can have it to you by Thanksgiving. I might have mentioned that before too. That's what happens when you get frustrated, you start repeating yourself. That's what happens when you get frustrated, you start repeating yourself. That's what happens. Now you'd think that thing was done on a CNC machine, wouldn't you? Maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but I think we're on the same page. Now, what we do is we take a long screwdriver. I happen to have one right here. A couple love taps is all it takes. Hit that son of a gun. It's not wide enough to really tighten. I don't want to push it through. It goes in there and stops, but I can't wedge it without risk of possibly pushing it past. Then it might be hard to get out. We don't want that. But being in there, it will help the guide from going whoop in case this moves. It's worth a shot, right? This guy's got to go. He's from out of town. The valve cover's not going to be until Thursday. And he's got to have the truck back by the end of the week. So we will we'll give it a whirl. What do you think? I got everything marked. Hopefully nothing jumps. That's all I can say. Worst case scenario, for 5 hours labor, I'll take the timing cover off and I'll redo the whole thing. That's all. It's a big deal. Doesn't feel like I'm going to get anywhere this week anyway, so I think. Fast and Furious motorcycle rider guy. Yeah, you know, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the boat kind of thing. That's alright. I don't know, part of me just wants to put a vice grip on top of this, use this as a wedge and put a vice grip on top of that with a rag just as a second precaution. Because all kidding aside, I really don't want to take the time cover off. Got my tool under there as a spacer and it's snugged. I've got my vice grips gently. I didn't crank it on there. You don't want to crush the timing chain. These pins are pretty damn strong though. They're hardened. I just got it snug and it's actually past the chain on the pulley anyway. Let's give it a whirl. What do you say? This looks like about an 18. Get an impact on that, and if this breaks loose nice like I'm thinking it will, then those 10s and this main cap across here has to come off and you can lift the cam out of there. When you take these off and when you tighten them up, you want to turn the bolts a turn at a time, a turn at a time, a turn all the way across so you don't bend anything or make a rocker arm spit out of there. You want to try to bring it all down pretty level. It's going to get crooked, but within reason. If you just go zinging 2 of them down and not the others, you could potentially have a bad day and look silly on the internet. Okay. Let's stop procrastinating and see if we have an impact gun. 4. Sometimes they're labeled, sometimes they're not. 3 exhaust. 2 exhaust. 1 exhaust. I'll put them back facing the same way too. Cam caps really on there pretty good. There's dowel pins in there that will generally hold it a little bit on you. So, very gently, you don't want to scratch surfaces and stuff like that, especially where the cam rides. I mean, if you scratch it a little bit, you can clean it up with a file, as long as it's in a non-critical place.
Every time it goes away, the vacuum's on.
One bolt shorter, the head of the bolt's different. I want to have this camshaft where I can get it with one hand. I'm going to pull the camshaft out of the phaser, get the new cam, put it in the phaser so this doesn't go anywhere. I don't think it would anyway, but just in case. I got this over here ready to go. Make sure it's sitting at about the same place as the other cam. You can see the there's like a piston ring on the oil ports. You see the piston ring on that one and on that one. So we got the correct depth. I don't want to tighten it yet. One, two, three. Thread locker right there. So I'm gonna get some motor honey and drip some down on each cap and on each load. Even though we won't be putting the valve cover on right away, I'll probably set the valve cover on if I can get this buttoned up tonight. I'll just lay it on to keep dirt out of it and stuff. Nice new bolt. I'm gonna get my motor honey out before I tighten anything further. Make sure we get oil under the cam caps. Although it's all, I didn't wipe anything down by design intentionally. I didn't want to wipe any oil off any of those parts. They're all clean. There's no gaskets, no silicone. And you want some residual oil on the parts. And we'll add some as well. Right now. This stuff is excellent. I've built many an engine with using this product for 20, 30 years. There is a notch in the cam, if you didn't see that goes in a pin on the phaser. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but that's why I turned the cam until it went. It does have to be obviously lined up, or you won't get the phaser all the way on it. 89 inch-pounds. This is one of those applications you definitely want to go over twice.
Do you get extra diet? No. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, put on the need additional time for
Did I do the back one? See? Let's do it again. You can't check it too many times until you get to where you've spent hours checking it. All right, 22 and then 100 degrees. Let me, I'm going to do the 22 foot-pounds like this. See how it feels. 100 degrees is going to be basically 90s right here. So I get close to touching that toolbox. 100 degrees. It's going to be super sketch. Ooh, boy, that's like 175 foot-pounds. Let's take a break. I'm taking it. Sold. Uh-oh. Just saved $200 in specialty tools. All right, guys, everything's all torqued. I laid the old valve cover on there. You can see where the hole is, with it sitting in place. I wish I'd have seen that earlier, because he's a little upset. He's like, well, how could the valve cover have a hole in it? We sent him a picture. Did you guys do that? You know, that kind of thing. But it is what it is. We're going to save him with parts, let him look at him. He said he's a mechanic, which he might be. The truck's actually very well maintained. You guys saw how nice that was. 240,000 miles. It looks like it's got 30,000 miles. So we're getting ready to close up. Making it work clock has it after 5. So thanks for watching today, guys. I appreciate your company. We didn't get anything done, but we got a lot of stuff looked at. The BMW valve cover gasket we're going to do too. So thanks for watching. Torque that like button on the way out. Don't forget to check out the Amazon store. The Sticker Mule store is where I have shirts and stickers and stuff if you're interested in that. Some people ask about it from time to time. But hope I see you in another video more than anything. You're awesome.